Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to teach you how to make a wire sculpture. It's going to look kind of like this guy right here. So let's get started. You're going to begin with a 10.5-foot piece of wire, and it's got the ends bent down so that's a little bit safer. But what you're going to do is find both ends of the wire and hold them together. And then if you move your hands, what you're gonna do is find the middle of your piece of wire. So right up here is gonna be the middle. That's also gonna be the top of the head. So right here is up here on my wire sculpture. What I want you to learn about in this lesson is proportion. So we need to make sure that the head is proportionate to the body. So when we make a person, the head is going to be whatever size we want, but then the torso ends up being 2 heads tall and the hips end up being 1 head tall. So the head is the starting point, and then you use the head measurement to determine the torso and the hips. So let's go ahead and get started. You're gonna have a sheet of paper like this that helps you with those proportions. So I'm just gonna hold this up and I'm gonna see if I can make the head about as big as this head. It won't be exact. Everyone's is gonna be a little bit different. But then you're gonna twist it where you want the bottom of the head to be. So you can see I overlapped a little bit there, and that's about the same size. And then I'm just gonna hold on to the overlap with one hand and then twist with the other. So I'm gonna give it 2 or 3 twists so that it doesn't come untwisted. And then that's also gonna be the neck. So you can see the beginning of the neck right there. Okay, so there's my neck. And then the right side of the wire is gonna end up being the right arm, and the left side's gonna be the left arm. So just like you can take your head and you can bend it over to touch your shoulder, we're gonna do that. So I turn the head over, and here's gonna be my shoulder, okay? So I'm gonna bend it right there a little bit because that's my shoulder, okay? And then I'm going to figure out how long the arm is. Well, usually your arms hang down to at least the bottom of your hips or the top of your legs. So I'm gonna make the arm be about this long, okay? And then I'm going to bend it here, and that is gonna be the hand. So here's my little hand on this guy. So hand's gonna be here. And then I'm gonna do the same thing and just give that a little twist, maybe twist it 2 or 3 times. The wire's fairly stiff, so you might choose to use a pair of pliers. So I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna go back up to the shoulder and pinch it there. And then I'm gonna keep twisting, just so that the arm doesn't come undone. So I was twisting a little bit. And there's my arm, my hand, my shoulder, my neck, and the head, okay? So I'm going to make sure that stays there. You can give it a couple more little twists if you want to, but this is where the wire might start to get a little tangled, so you have to be careful about how you twist it. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and actually twist it back this way for a minute, so my wire doesn't get too tangled. Twist it the opposite way, okay? So there's that one. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the other arm. So I'm gonna bend the head over and think, oh, if my head could touch, it would be right there. So I want the shoulder to be about here. And since this is wire, you can also bend it together and measure. So if I want my other hand and arm to be the same length as the first one, then I could just kind of pinch them together and then bend this one up. And then this shoulder is going to be over here. So you can see that both shoulders are about the same distance from the neck. Okay, and I'm gonna pinch it right there and then twist again. Okay, so now I've got, whoops, let's see, I think I need to twist that some more because I don't want the shoulder to come undone. So let's see, try to do that. And if it gets to be too hard to twist, then just get your pliers to help and just keep twisting. Okay. So there's my shoulders and my two arms. That looks pretty good. Now I don't want to crunch up my hands. So what I can do is maybe twist that a little bit more so that the hand is more kind of an oval, but I don't want to squish it. I just want it to be kind of like that. This one's a little smaller, but we'll fix that up later. Okay. Now we're gonna do the torso. So we've got his arms and the neck and the head. So we can go back to our proportion guide and we know that the torso is 2 heads tall. So I can kind of lay this down here. And then I'm going to cross these 2 wires. And kind of pinch down here. So can you see the torso right there? Okay. Get that and pinch around there. Okay. He's looking pretty good. I like it. So there's his arms, his torso. And now we're going to give him some hips. So we're going to do the same basic thing. I'm going to come out a little bit. So this is his waist right here where it's coming together again. There's the waist. And then I'm going to bend these wires around to make the hips. And then I'm going to twist here again. Pretty easy, right? So now we're going to kind of do something a little bit tricky here because what you're going to do is bend these wires up. See how I went up and over the hips? Okay, like so. Okay. Now we're going to give this person some legs. Most people who are young, at least, can do kind of a karate kick. So we're going to pretend that this leg is coming up and it's going to karate kick all the way over the head. And that's how we're going to figure out how long to make the legs. So there's my karate kick. And I bent it. That's going to be the foot. So then I'm going to pinch it down here at the top of the leg. And again, if you want to use your pliers to help twist, you just twist this around. So it stays. And there's one leg. And you've got lots of extra wire here for that leg, and I'm going to show you what to do with that here in just a second. But for the time being, we're just going to leave that out of the way. Okay, so you've got your leg here, extra wire from the right side, and then we're going to do the same thing here and make the other leg kick up, karate kick, boink. Or you could just bend it down this way to make sure it's the same length as your first leg. Pinch up here and then twist. Okay. Now we got these 2 crazy wires here that you're probably wondering what to do with. So these are going to be the start of your body, Okay, so we're going to take each of these and put the arms out of the way for now. And we're going to start wrapping around because we know that the body is not a stick figure. It's got depth and form. So I'm wrapping this around in such a way that it's three-dimensional. So we're going to start with the flat, twisted figure. And then we're going to take this other wire and we're just going to wrap it to give him some body. And you can bend it and squeeze it, but just don't squeeze it too much because you don't want it to be flat. Okay, so here's the other side of him. So I'm going to go the other way with this wire. And I'm going to start bending it around. Ooh, I like it. It's starting to be a body now. So I'm kind of using the width of the figure, but then I'm making the wire curve out front and back so that he has muscle and mass. So because we want this to be three-dimensional. We don't want it to be flat. Okay. So now he's got these cool skinny arms and he's got these long skinny legs, but his torso is starting to become three-dimensional. So when you compare the two of them, you can see that the bodies are starting to look pretty much the same. And now we're going to start adding some more wire to create the arms and the legs. But we'll do that in the next video.